Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, honorable judges and everybody watching. Hi, my name is Fatima Azzahra as representative of Yapemri High School. Beforehand, I need to mention how grateful I am to be able to compete in such prestigious competition. I hope by this competition I can share a few of my aspirations on this topic and motivate others who might experience social media addiction. So if this video lands on your homepage, perhaps it is meant to be. Maybe grab some popcorn and stay a while. To start this topic, let me ask you some questions. What were you doing before you came here? Were you on your phone? If so, what was the last thing you watched before you watched this video? If you can answer these three questions, it means that you're a conscious social media user. Surprisingly, Gen Z, when faced with this question, usually doesn't know or doesn't remember what they were doing right before. Why so? Researchers prove that adolescents ages 10 to 19 are undergoing highly sensitive period of brain development, which raise serious concerns about the risk of harm from social media exposure for them who are at a vulnerable stage of brain development. And if you do the math, then that leaves us with 40% of Gen Z being at risk of social media harm. And if these 40% are not wise nor mindful of using social media, then it can cause a bad impact on them. Since social media provides unrealistic beauty standards that can form false comparison between users that led to low self-esteem and constant need of validation because the lack of mindfulness. Besides, social media offers irrelevant and excessive information on so many topics. For example, in one video, influencer A can say that phones are good for building networks and enhancing your soft skills, while on the next video you watch, influencer B can say that phones are bad for your well-being and your sanity. Even if both influencers have a point, your brain cannot encounter misaligned information. The brain is constantly stimulated with new information, making it hard to focus, which can cause brain fog. Hence, difficulty in thinking clearly, focus, and remember things. This can feel like a slow thought process or a lack of mental clarity. Social media also supplies unlimited amount of dopamine into your brain, which is a chemical that is released when you do something enjoyable. In this case, every single short videos that you watch is decreasing your attention span because your brain reward system is constantly triggered. Therefore, it will lead to a paradoxical addiction to scrolling, thus engaging in harmful behaviors despite knowing the consequences, implying that social media is just like 24/7 drug excess. Because your enjoyable receptors are overstimulated, things that took longer to do tend to be easily neglected, and things that happen in real time no longer excites you. So, am I stating that social media use always led to addiction? Not necessarily. I think there are three main signs that can indicate whether you are addicted or not. 1. If you feel unsettled if you're not around your phone. 2. If you have the urge to check your phone amidst your daily activity, perhaps when you cook, when you learn, when you meet up with your friends. 3. If you open your phone first thing in the morning or the last thing before you go into bed. If you have these symptoms of any of them, maybe you want to stick to the next part. Because to me, I think moderation is key to prevent a paradoxical addiction. So firstly, you need to know what are the consequences of using social media before terminating things that go against it. You need to know what are your intentions of using social media other than entertainment purposes. And as I have mentioned before, watching short videos may decrease your attention span because usually short videos are containing a small bit of information, if not only for entertainment. So once you have finally decided that you want to use social media as a educational purposes or positive outcomes, then you might want to try and watch longer videos like YouTube videos to withdraw the addiction one step at a time. This can make your attention span broader and longer. Then you want to take a next step of limiting your screen time use, because a small controlled trial in college-age youth found that limiting your screen time by 30 minutes daily over 3 weeks led to significant improvement in depression severity. At this stage, you need to know that, we're back at it again. So nonetheless, I think social media has a lot of positive impact on us. And the most impactful one, I would say, is how mental health awareness has massively spread and acknowledged. Since Gen Z is known to be most mental awareness generation, now people with mental illness has a place to speak up and share their personal experience, encouraging others who might experience similar conditions. And previously, on another generation, there were a lot of stigmas about people with mental illness. For instance, they may be considered as scary, crazy, incompetent. Well, I just believe they could have just snapped out of it. Which doesn't make any sense, does it? Because it might be physically invisible, but actually affecting the brain is that is the concept society fails to recognize. That if the neurochemical in your brains is imbalanced, it can and will be diagnosed as an illness. Therefore, without a proper treatment, you cannot just magically snap out of it. So, if you, of anyone watching or anyone around you, is overstimulated by social media and have symptoms of any mental health disorder, such as extreme mood changes, withdrawal from friends and activities, significant tiredness, detachment from reality or delusions, paranoia, or even hallucinations, please do contact the professionals. Let's get a hold of our life back and maintain our well-being by limiting social media usage. I suppose that's all I can say about this topic, and of course this is an ongoing journey for me as well, so I hope this speech can benefit you in one way or another. And if I do made a mistake during this speech, please do let me know and I will be happy to discuss more. Thank you for your time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.